And welcome back to Versus Live here. I'm Ross Merriam. Got Todd Anderson. We got Jerry Thompson over in the booth taking your questions. Make sure you tag at SCG Tour in the chat. And Dan May sitting behind the, I don't know what you call that, but making sure everything that we don't understand works.
The command center.
Okay, that's what we're calling it now.
Yes.
Dan May's in the command center.
Called it.
No, can we just call it what's the command zone? Nick Miller's in the sideboard, you're in the command zone. No?
Actually, yeah, that could work.
I like
it too.
Jerry's in exile.
You're usurping Nick Miller's position by being in the sideboard right now.
Cool. I'll take it.
Yeah. All right, so we have one match in the books. We tried out a Grixis Unearthed deck featuring Seasoned Pyromancer, Dreadhorde Arcanist, Snapcaster Mage. Looked pretty good. Struggled a bit against Grafdigger's Cage. It turned off a lot of the threats. That's definitely something to keep in mind.
But also not a card that's seeing a lot of play right now in Modern. You know, it was a singleton in my sideboard because I'm a loam deck. It worked well with what I was doing. So that's not something I would be too worried about. If you're a graveyard deck where Cage is the best hate against you, that's a good place to be. And you can definitely play pretty effectively around the other pieces of graveyard hate. You know, Leyline and Recipes are going to be a problem for sure. But you Unearthed cycling is really big so that you can get rid of that when it's dead. Yeah,
we saw in game 3 of the last match, I cycled 2 Unearthed and those became fresh cards. Now, some of those cards still use the graveyard, which was not super good. But, a mishmash of Dreadhorde Arcanist attacks and a Seasoned Pyromancer that generated like one elemental like that, it was enough against a deck that was also struggling because I was hitting you on your engine. Like, you had Grafdigger's Cage me, I had Surgical Extraction, your life from the limbs, and we were basically at parity, except I had threats that did the thing instead of enchantments that don't really have a text. They have text, but they're a lot worse when you don't have your engine.
Didn't make a lot of bears in that game, so that was my undoing. But we are moving on now to more decks. Like I said before the break, I am playing a Goblin Sacrifice deck. Got a lot of Goblins in the set, Matron being the really big one. Goblin Matron, super powerful card. Munitions Expert is our, replacement for Jump Home Incinerator. Not as good as Incinerator, but
works
in this
well
deck,
with Ether Vial, which is nice.
Yeah, in this deck, both working with Ether Vial and just giving you a body to sacrifice and act as fodder for the rest of your cards is quite nice. So that's a very welcome addition to the deck.
I'll say this. I really loved Jim Palm Incinerator, and when they said that there was some cycling in the set, I was ecstatic because I was like, oh, Jim Palm Incinerator just has to be there. Has to. But then they chose Munitions Expert, and I thought, no, it's not going to be there.
Yeah, Jim Davis was very upset when he saw Munitions Expert because he too was rooting for a little Jump Home Incinerator. But we're going to have to take it in a new direction. I do think Sling Gang Lieutenant, which is a new card for Modern Horizons, is very powerful.
Yes.
3 and a black, 1/1 ETB. You get 2 1/1 goblins, and you can sacrifice a goblin to drain your opponent for 1 life. And because you can sacrifice without paying mana, you get that combo aspect. Between that and Prospector, you have 2 sacrifice outlets that cost 0 mana. You can sacrifice your entire board. You've got Siege King Commander at the top end to deal some extra damage. Be another sack outlet. I have 4 copies of Blood Artist to double down with Sling Gang Commander. Suddenly, all your goblins drain for 2.
You also have 1 copy of Postulate Mons.
Yeah. Another, Blood Artist for all your goblins. You don't want to stack it too many 3-drops because then your curve gets a little clunky. So I'm using that as a tutor target that is a little bit cheaper than getting another Sling Gang Lieutenant if that's what you're in the market for. But, the curve looks pretty solid here. We've got 8 1-drops in Vial and Prospector. We got 12 2s. This is excluding the tutor targets in Blood Artist, Munitions Expert, and Mog War Marshal. And then 10 3 or 7 3s. In Matron, 2 War Chiefs, and 1 Postulate Mons, the 4 4s in Lieutenant, 2 Siege Gang, and some scattered tutor targets. Goblin Chain Whirler is a nice one in this matchup.
Love that one.
Goblin Crater Maker is a nice one. It can, blow up an Oblivion Stone or a Karn or, a small creature, in this matchup against humans. So a lot of versatility with that card. And when you sacrifice it, you get a little bit of value. Drain them for a little bit. So there's definitely some options here. My sideboard tutor targets are really cool. We're going to bring in the Arms Dealer. Start throwing goblins around for 4 damage pop.
Can I see that one? That card seems nice.
Oh, yeah. I did a nice Gatherer search for goblins, and we came up with some goodies.
3 mana, 1/1, red and 1, sack a goblin, deal 4 damage to target creature. That seems awesome. It's from Magic 2013.
And we got our Goblin Zozu.
I like Zozu a lot. Yeah. Zozu seems nice.
Nice amulet.
Okay. All right, so that's your goblins, and we're going to be running that up against humans. Now, humans is a deck that has seen a bit of a resurgence lately. A lot of players in the
Mythic Championship.
No, it wasn't the Mythic Championship. It was the Magic Online Championship, which is not to be confused with the Mythic Arena Championship. It's all a lot of play there. It's picked up a bit on the SCG Tour and various classics.
Most played deck at the last Open in day 2.
But the card that I have struggled with finding a replacement for the most was the 3-drop slot that has been inhabited by Kessig Malcontents, Thalia, Heretic Cathar, and more recently Militia Bugler. And I never really liked any of the cards in the slot, so oftentimes I would just cut them completely and just play like a Thraben Inspector and a Dark Confidant, and sometimes even like Phyrexian Metamorph. I know I played that a couple times. I went deeper than normal, looking for something that was slightly better. And now, with the new set, Modern Horizons has brought Ranger Captain of Eos, and this is obviously an homage to Ranger of Eos. It's a 3/3 for 3 mana, allows you to search up a 1-mana creature, put in your hand. Has an ability that also protects you from combo decks, which I like, as well as like Supreme Verdict or Wrath of God.
It's not going to come up a ton, but when it comes up, you'll be glad it's there.
Yeah.
So what cool 1-drops do you have to search up?
Mostly the normal ones, but I think the biggest one is just having more redundancy with Champion of the Parish. I think that it is one of the more powerful 1-drops in the format anyway. But I also have a couple copies of Thraben Inspector to go get, as well as 1 copy of Burnt and Forked Cinder in the sideboard to go get.
Okay.
And there's possibly some other 1-mana things you could potentially play.
Get Kithian, maybe set up a Planeswalker.
That's actually cool. Kithian's also a human, right?
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
I've played a Kithian in my humans deck before.
Sure.
I've transformed that card Modern.
Yeah, no, that seems nice. I mean, I think there's a lot of ways you can take Ranger Captain of Eos. You don't even have to play it in a human's deck. It just so happens to be human, and you can play like just more. Basically, with humans, the only way you lose is when you start to flood out, and just having any spell is better than not. And the fact that this generates a 2-for-1 every single time is going to be make it one of the
3-for-1 if you find Inspector.
Right. Which is why we're playing 2 copies. I originally only had 1, but I just had a floater spot, and I was like, yeah, I'll play a second one. Probably pretty good. So
yeah, I also like the incentive to put a few more 1-drops on the deck, lower your curve. It's really important for the humans deck to come out of the gates quickly, get onto the battlefield. You know, I've played Kithian in the deck, I've played Thraben Inspector, all out of just the desire to have additional 1-drops, and now you have an added incentive to do that, so that you get a little bit more versatility out of this powerful 3-drop.
Yeah. In addition to that, we're playing 2 more of the Horizon lands. We already have 4 Horizon Canopy in all the builds. We're also playing 1 of the blue-green one and 1 of the red-white one. So it's Sunbaked Canyon and I don't remember the blue-green
Flooded something.
No idea.
Yeah, whatever.
I think it's flooded something.
Anyway, taps for either color, take a damage, or sack and draw a card. Pretty good. All right.
How many basics you got?
I think I went down to 1. I think I cut an island.
How many Field of Ruins I got?
I don't know.
4.
What? Okay, I'll just beat you with Ethervial. It's fine. All right, so you lost the previous match, so you get to go first.
Yeah.
It's a pretty rough opener.
Real quick. Shadow Friend wants to know what Ross thinks about Warren Instigator into Goblin Matron into Morophon the Boundless.
What is Morophon the Boundless?
That's the 7/7.
Oh, the new.
Changeling.
Oh. What you think, Ross?
So then all our goblins cost red less?
Yes.
And
Yeah,
Black
plus
Glass.
Or red black less.
Yeah, so Munitions Expert is just free.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
also just a giant goblin. You know.
I mean, I can't imagine Warren Instigator being good in Modern.
okay.
This 2-mana, like 1/2/1 basically, that needs to connect to do anything.
Ooh, also, what about Yawgmoth in your deck?
Yawgmoth sounds pretty cool. Sack a bunch of goblins to kill stuff and draw cards.
Yeah, kind of not that difficult to cast, I guess. With the way I have the mana base with a bunch of Caverns and Field of Ruins, a little bit more difficult.
Sure.
Because it's a double black card, but you could build a mana base to cast it. Not sure it's necessary. It's also another 4.
My hand pretty good.
Yeah, I have a reasonable hand.
All right.
We're going to need to draw some high-end cards, but it's better to have the low-end one in your hand. Be able to curve out early. No turn one Vial, but...
Oh, I got your own vial. So
Ooh, you also drew your planes, though.
I know. I saw my planes when I put them, I'm just like, wah, wah. But it doesn't get hit with Field of Ruin, which is nice.
Yeah, let's Cavern on Goblin and play a Blood Artist and attack for 1.
I'll follow in an Ornithopter.
And block, yeah.
I have done that before. Don't you sass me.
I mean, I'd be pretty happy if you did. You're at 19.
Is Goblin Settler legal?
Is that the one that's like when it dies, you blow up a land?
Nah, just
What,
3R11.
I think that's from an very old set.
Yeah, it's just only in starter, right?
All right,
Yeah, just start.
we'll go
That'd be a tight
human on
card.
this. Playing either Vile, play a champion of Parish. Here we go.
Can't believe you had a second one, you jerk.
Are we gonna blow up the first one?
Yeah, F the Crater Maker. I'm still gonna blow up this one.
All right, gonna
Got another
Vile
one drop,
for
I'm sure.
one.
Trigger the Blood Artist too.
Yeah.
So 21 to 18. Oh my god, you can go.
All right, take this up. Draw. Human. And it's Rider. And this is going to be the real test for the Goblin deck if they can set up some munitions
13.
experts and stuff. 4 damage. So you take.
I'm at 11.
Yeah. Here you go. Get a clue. Have a good draw. Started with 1 land. Would you believe it?
Yes.
And it was really nice of Ross to actually kill your second Aether Vial, too.
Yeah. Didn't need it. Although if he didn't, he might have actually died this turn.
Yeah, maybe.
Or come very close to it.
You just have Thales Lieutenant in your hand?
I just have an image to copy this.
Okay, that would be 5 more damage, yeah.
Effectively locking the door and actually locking the door.
It's going to be tough. So, let's play our Matron, I guess. I'm just figuring out what I need to find.
Yeah, this is a classic Goblin, Vile versus Vile deck where one player draws Vile and the other one doesn't. Ross even had a check for my Vile, but I had 2.
Yeah, I shouldn't have played the Blood Artist into it. I wanted you to not know what was going on, but I have a Field of Ruin, and I could have gone Crater Maker on 2, Field you on 3,
And blow up the Vial.
and blow up the Vial, and then you wouldn't have made a Mantis Rider this turn.
Sure.
It would have made a huge difference. I think I might just win the game.
Maybe I'm
that way.
lying to you and I have another island. I don't actually remember.
No, I looked at your deck.
Okay.
I just wanted you to
I built
know.
my deck in a feverish haze.
So I'm going to get Siege Gang Commander and pass the turn.
All right. Let's take this up to 2. Draw. Should I do it to him? Meddling Mage.
I know you have to do it to him.
I have. You hate to see it. I'm gonna name Siege Gang Commander. I'm gonna. I think I'm actually just gonna copy Melee Mage and name Munitions Expert. So it's gonna go 5. This is at 4. And attack with Inspector too, I guess.
Block the big champion and take 9. Gives me to 2 Blood Artist triggers, and I go to 3, you go to 17.
Sure. Your turn. Tarfire.
I am very dead.
Check it out, Jerry. You can pinpoint the moment where Ross's heart breaks. Look, right there.
Are you putting it up on screen? What?
No.
Oh, why not?
I don't have that type of power right now.
Okay.
Okay, a little slow out of the gates for my deck, and a pretty aggressive draw from Todd's.
Yeah, my draw was nutty.
very tough to
very
keep up with there.
Still had all these clues.
No, Threat Inspector as just being another 1-drop is sometimes good enough for your triple 1-drop starts, or in that case, my quintuple 1-drop start.
With 6 Horizon lands, did you add a land?
I didn't, but I could very easily see adding a land. I think a lot of the games you lose with humans is just missing on land drops. And then we would just probably add back in the second basic, the island. And then you could probably just go down to 1 Thraben Inspector, and that's okay. Most of the time you're getting Champion of the Parish with Ranger
Captain.
Captain of Eos. Isn't there a Knight Captain of Eos from a Lara block?
Yeah, 5 mana 2/2.
Makes a couple of 1/1s or
Mhm.
something. I keep mixing that one up in my head, but okay, this hand's cool. I like this hand.
Just good deck building, Ross.
Does he have like Blood Artist, Double Cavern, or something?
Nope.
Cavern, Field of Ruin, Blood Artist.
Sand is quite good if I hit.
Just look and see if you hit. I want to have a good game, and I'm cool with you keeping, but I don't want to have a bad game. Is it there?
It is not.
Well, Mold 7. Let's have a fun one. I want to see these new cards in action. I want you to pummel me.
I was Mountain Field of Ruin with double munitions expert.
Come on, Ross, put up a fight for the marbles.
Put a map.
I'm on 8 lands that don't produce black in a 23 land deck, so I have 15 black sources and Vile.
Yeah.
Don't bring math into this.
Maybe you should play Manamorphose, so when you start Prospector, you get to Manamorphose sometimes to cast black cards.
This is smart.
It's just good deck building.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if y'all know Ross very well, but I'm pretty sure he would put Manamorphose in most decks. I mean, what if you could play 4 Sugar Wraiths, 4 Manamorphose in that deck, huh? Just 52 card deck.
Get some Edge of Autumns in there too.
Think about it.
Mishra's Bauble's pretty good with Goblin Matron and Field of Ruin.
Yeah. Is it?
Yeah,
I guess. Yeah, okay. Let's check the deck.
Okay, this one will play. Let's start on a tap Blood Crypt and pass the turn.
All right. I'm going to name Human and play Vile and Zigo. Again, another Vile versus non-Vile start. It's probably an uphill battle for Ross. That's why we gave him the Model 7.
Blood Artist.
Blood Artist. Draw.
Yeah, if Todd's hand were bad, he would definitely not let Ross mull the 7.
You're damn right. All right, 19.
I've known this Todd Anderson guy for a minute.
Yeah, go ahead. Thalia is not very good in this matchup. We're wanting Thalia in more or less creature-based matchups. We have a lot of cards that we can potentially bring in. Our champion, Burns of Fortune potentially, Dismember, Deputy, maybe even Warlord Rogue, depending on
So fetch to 19 for a mountain.
Todd, you could even play Plague Engineer.
Plague Engineer. Yeah. It's not a bad one. I mean, I've actually cut the Kite Elf rebooters from the deck completely, so I have a lot less black. The only black cards in my deck are the 2 Sand Collectors on the board, but we only have 11 black sources for them, plus Vile.
Play a Pashalik Mons.
That's fine.
Pass the turn.
Alright, it's Vile and just a Noble. And I kind of want... No, we're going to take this up to 2. I'm not done. We'll draw.
Ross, did you look at building goblins with Fecundity?
I did not. That's something Jim Davis has tried when Skirk Prospector was first previewed, and it did not go very well for him. He tried to just rebuild Dirty Kitty.
Yeah.
But I have not myself attempted that. I'll go to 16.
Are you saying that Jim Davis is the better member of Team BCW?
No, I'm just saying he's the one who's done it.
17.
And you don't think you can do better than him?
That's not what I'm saying.
Sounds like what you're saying.
Have it like this.
So
Reflect
18?
I'm at 18. Alright. Your turn.
Todd, do you think that Meddling Mage gets worse without Freebooter?
No, I think you just... Every deck has a crutch, and you just always name the crutch. If you're playing against a fair deck, just name their 1 or 2 mana removal spell. I don't think Meddling Mage is super good in most matchups, but the matchups where it's good, it's insane. And there are a lot of spots where you just close out as many outs as possible with it.
What about Unsettled Mariner?
I don't know what that does.
UW 2/2 Changeling. Spells and abilities. The target creatures you control, they have to pay 1 more or else it gets countered. Something along those lines.
Honestly, you lost me at like somewhere halfway.
UW 2/2
So
Changeling.
Blue and 2 for 2/2 Changeling.
No.
UW. What does that mean?
White.
White.
So blue white 2/2 Changeling.
Yes.
Say blue white.
No.
Okay.
Whenever you or a permanent you control becomes the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, counter that spell or ability unless its controller pays 1.
Okay. Seems pretty cool. Changeling, dude.
Yeah.
Probably great in this deck, yeah. You need to basically main phase it, though, I guess, with Vial or whatever, right?
Yep.
It's kind of like the Frost Titan effect.
The Kira stuff.
Oh, that would be cool. If I had that in my deck right now, I could actually copy the Goblin Matrix and go get it.
That's dope.
Yeah. All right, I don't really want to Phantasmal Image right now because I don't really want to copy Reflector Mage. I mean, I could bounce Blood Artist, I guess. Let's take this up to 3. Let's draw. Okay. My turn got a bit harder.
The problem with saying like blue white is when if something costs 2 and a white and you say 2 white, then people never know if you're saying like white white or 2 plus a white.
Yeah.
But if you say 2 dub, they know exactly what you mean.
I'm gonna tap it like this. I'm gonna use all my mana anyway, and I can't cast Mana Strider off this.
Okay. So you're 15. 15.
Tap Noble to play this. Play Mana Strider.
Yep.
Put a counter on this, and then attack with these.
Take 7, go to 9.
Go.
Guess that was still pretty good. So let's play a Prospector and then play Munitions Expert and kill the Mantis Rider. And then pass the turn.
Sack 3 goblins, play Chain Warlock?
I don't think that's what I want to do.
Draw.
Yep.
Ranger Captain. Guess we'll just get another champion. Play champion. Counter here. So these have some incidents. Playing. Could copy Munitions Expert to just shoot something for 1, just to kind of clear out the Blood Artist before I attack. I don't hate that. But I could just Ranger Captain of Vios again, and then go get another, like a Thraben Inspector, just to pump some stuff. I think that's probably better. Alright, so we'll copy this, go get Thraben Inspector. And we want to get Thraben because it doesn't die to Chain Whirler. And it's going to be the last creature we play, so... Alright, so it's going to put counter here, counter here. We're going to take 1, cast this one, counter here, counter here.
So are you at 13 now?
These
You
are
tap
also
both canopies?
Yeah, I'm at 13. I might actually just die. I hope not, though. Okay. And you can see these, like, chains with Ranger Captain. It's not really, like... All we're getting is, like, Champion and Thraben, but it's, like... All we need is anything to do with our mana, you know?
Okay, so let's block Champion and take 7. So I go to 2 and trigger Blood Artist. You go to 12, I go to 3.
Okay. Yep, here we go.
Okay, I just need to draw a land. And we drew a land.
I did.
So I haven't done the math, but I'll go to 2. And get this mountain.
Maybe I should have copied Blood Artist. Thought about doing that too. But I think killing the Munitions Expert with the Phantasmal Image would have been slightly better. Because Blood Artist triggers on either creature dying, and with the Chain Whirler, I guess he only kills 2 creatures, right? The Noble and the Thalia, so that's what puts me to 10. He can sack some more goblins to maybe cast like a Siege Gang or something.
Maybe you're not dead. Maybe the
12 creatures have to die. That's a lot.
well, not necessarily 12,
Sure.
since we know about that one.
So you can play Pashik Mons, Deal 2, deal 2, sack it, deal 2.
Yeah. So
That's
play
6,
this.
and then you.
This
chain
is
whirler.
2, and then we play this. This goes up to 3 mana and gives us 3 more goblins dying.
Yeah, I think I'm dead.
So that's 8, and then I have 3 mana floating. Then I play this. That's 9. Then I sack this 11, and then I can easily deal 12. Okay, yeah. So play this. Sack this for red. These 2 trigger. You go to 10. I go to 3.
Yep.
Play Mog War Marshal. Get a goblin.
Always kill the Blood Artist, folks. Always kill Blood Artist.
Yeah. Sack this. Get another red and another goblin. 2 more triggers. These.
Okay.
So you go to 8. I go to 4.
Okay.
Then sack this for a red. 2 more triggers. 6 to 5. Then sack this for a red. 2 more triggers. You go to 4. I go to.
You can just sack these, so you don't even have to cast a chain.
Well,
Marshall killed me.
you're at 4, so I can't sack
right,
these
you
2.
can't. Yeah.
Then I play Chain Whirler with the 3 red floating. You go to 3. Maybe some stuff
Wait, can't
dies.
you do the Clarkland Ironworks thing where you like put a spell on the stack and then pay for it by sacking this, and they see each other die?
True. Yeah.
Something like that. Is that how that works?
Yeah. So
No.
so it does.
No idea.
It's the exact same scenario.
That's what I thought. But
But I'll play the Chain Whirler. So that'll bring you to 3,
yeah, 2 of my creatures die, I go to 1,
and then
and then you
oh
sack
yeah,
any goblin.
and other creatures die with
Yeah,
the Chain
yeah.
Whirler.
It's a million damage. I'm dead.
And in fact, I could target the image with the Pashalik Mons to get another Blood Artist trigger too.
There it is, folks. Always kill the Blood Artists. Learn a valuable lesson today.
Yeah, it's generally, you were already pretty far ahead on board.
Right.
So you didn't really need to just get even more ahead.
Mhm.
Just limiting what I can do is where you want to be. So we're going to move to some sideboarding.
Sure. All right, I'm going to take a 2-minute break here. I think we're sideboarding should be pretty clean cut. If you want to do 3, we can do 3, Dan.
I can make it go faster.
That's fine, sure. Okay, we're going to take a short break here. Don't go nowhere. Be right back for more Versus Live.
And welcome back here to Versus Live, where we are sideboarding with Goblin Sacrifice against 5-color humans. On my side, we are just sort of upgrading our removal. I think both Warren Rooting and Goblin Crater Maker, they are fine in this matchup, but they are not super efficient. And Todd's deck has a significantly lower curve than mine.
Yeah.
So I need to try to lower my curve to stay on pace. So I'm bringing in some Fatal Pushes. Just good removal. Most of my other removal is damage based. So once Champion of the Parish gets pretty big, hard to answer. So really easy for us to turn on Revolt to if we have to take care of, Deputy of Detention or Mantis Rider or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So both Warren Reading is more for, like the Jun style decks that are just putting a Tarmogoyf in your way.
Yes.
And then it's a good way to do that. Sometimes you do target yourself because then you can sack Goblin, get 2 more Goblins, and get a bunch of triggers. So I think it's a useful one to have in the deck because you can have that proactive play on yourself. And then
being able to tutor it up because it's a tribal sorcery with Goblin Matron is actually pretty sweet.
Exactly. And then I'm trimming 1 Sling Gang Lieutenant. Without Vial, we're going to have a hard time getting that far up our curve, and so I want to trim 1 of those. We still have 3 left and 2 Siege Gang Commanders, and we've got our sweet one of in the matchup, Arms Dealer. I think if this card gets going, I should be able to win pretty easily.
Yeah.
It's just going to machine gun down everything Todd has, except for Oriok Champion, and that is super powerful in this matchup and something that hopefully we get to see work.
Yep. On my side, Dolly Guardian Thraben is not really for the other Ether Vial decks. It's way more for the spell-based instant sorcery decks. It also just slows down basically every combo deck. The first strike is occasionally useful when we're trying to attack, but that's just not where we want to be. The Thraben Inspectors, we're cutting those. As you saw in games 1 and 2, I had a clue both times and just never had the time or energy to cast it. In this matchup, we're just going back and forth and trying to do the most powerful things each turn possible. And Thraben Inspector cracking a clue is not it. You want this more against the decks with a bunch of traditional spot removal. We're going to be bringing in some ways to handle some of these more annoying creatures like Blood Artists and Deputy Detention. Whirlrogue allows us to get through with these large Champions of the Parish early on to do damage so that he can't just chump block. Can finish the game pretty easily once we hit 4 mana. And then the 2 Auric Champions can buy us some life to kind of counteract the Blood Artist in a way. And then the 1 Birds of Fortune can protect something like Deputy or whatever from either Siege Gang Commander or maybe Munitions Expert mostly. So
yeah, very nice one to have there with Ranger Captain of Eos.
Mm-hmm.
I expect that one will be adopted rather widely.
Yeah, I do like the 1 of Birds of Fortune quite a bit. All right, Jerry, hit me.
What do you want?
Questions about new cards, questions about these decks, anything. Burning Ross,
Ooh. I don't know. The chat seems to like Ross.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Storm my
I know this might surprise you, but
It's a wild world, that Twitch chat.
No, dude, you should see the YouTube comments. It's like pretty aggressively like, wow, Todd's super salty. And then they just never say anything bad about when Ross is salty.
Mm-hmm.
I built up many months of goodwill not getting that salty, and now I've started to recently, and nobody notices. It's great.
I try to stay away from YouTube comments, actually.
For my sanity, I usually do. But sometimes I check them,
All right. Did y'all check your phones on that break or anything?
No.
Did y'all
Is there a
see
new
that
card?
Wall of Blossoms is confirmed?
Nice. Love me some Wall of Blossoms. I don't know what decks it goes in, but I love it. I mean, Wall of Omens has been around in Modern for quite some time.
Yeah. What does Wall of Blossoms go into?
It gets Eldritch Evolutioned pretty nicely.
Ooh, and Neoformed?
I mean, if you wanted to Eldritch Evolution things, like we have Elvish Visionary, like Eldritch Evolution. I want to play with Eldritch Evolution with something that leaves a body behind when you sacrifice it, like Voice of Resurgence and Blade Splicer, things like that.
It leaves a card in your hand.
Yeah, that's not as good because you've effectively spent 2 turns and only one of them affected the board. I'm not sold.
Looks like Reed previewed a card as well.
What's that?
Rot Widow Pack. So green black 2 for a 2/4 spider with reach. Green black 3, exile a creature card from your graveyard. Create a 1/2 green spider creature token with reach. Then each opponent loses 1 life for each spider you control.
Seems like a great limited card.
Agreed.
All right, let's see it for game 3. I'm on the play. My hand is okay, but I would definitely want a slightly better hand, and hopefully we draw something that lets this hand be better.
Okay, well, I like my hand, so.
All right, lead with champion, but...
Stay has pointed out that Ross's non-salty months coincided with him winning marbles.
Funny how that happens.
Weird. All right, let's name human.
Yep.
This is one of the good ones. Trigger this.
Yep.
Attack for 2.
18.
Your turn. And now I gain a life whenever any creature enters battlefield. Nice.
Yeah, it might be tough to beat. I'll fetch to 17. And let's get a mountain and play a munitions expert.
Tilt.
And deal 2 to the champion, but
It always does 1, right?
yeah.
Let's make sure 1 other, just because I missed it. Because that feels real good.
So you're 21 from the champion.
Yep.
Pass the turn.
So Todd shows up with tier 1 deck against Ross's solidly tier 3 brew. And also Todd has pro red, pro black card in his sideboard. That's cool. It's real nice.
I took literally the deck that did the best in the most recent open, the humans deck, and I cut a militia bugler and some other weird nonsense card. I forgot what it was, and just 1 other random card, and added 3 Nightcap Navios. So the sideboard, I actually hate Ariak Champion. Okay, I didn't know that I was going to be playing against goblins. Ross chose the matchups this week, just so y'all know. Take 1. Sorry, before I do that.
Oh, Papa John's Napkins said,
So break even.
everyone is fully aware that Ross gets just as salty, but they like him more. So I have a feeling that
You're at
this one
22,
will
I'm at
still get
15.
blamed on Utah.
20. No, I stayed even at 21, and then gained 2 up to 23 from the noble.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so 23 to 15.
Yeah, here you go.
I don't think I am beating double Oriok champion here. It's the second time I've drawn Aether Vial on turn 3.
Cast it. It's probably good.
I don't think it is.
Papa John's Napkin is brutal.
The problem with the second one, especially with the Noble Hierarch, is I just can't attack. And then it's going to be really hard to set up a combo kill because I have yet to find any sacrifice outlets.
No, I mean, you're not under a ton of pressure. Two a turn is not a huge deal.
Yeah.
If I draw Thala's Lieutenant, then you're in trouble.
I'm going to fetch for another mountain and play a War Chief.
Okay.
And go to 14.
I go 25.
And yeah, you're at 25. And pass the turn.
Okay.
Ooh, Don Delilah said everyone just hates Bama. It's getting personal.
Man, people are rude AF. All right, let's bounce that. Then hit you for 2. I'll gain 2 up to 27. You're at 12.
Well, this deck needs Ross.
What?
Ghost Flame.
Goes fire.
Oh, Ghost Fire, yeah.
Ah, yes. Pyrite Spell Bomb. That'll be nice.
You gain 2. You're 29.
29.
Pass the turn.
Maybe 30 Warren Weirdings. Bama is just off-brand Ohio State.
Y'all are getting.
Can you time that gentleman out for 10 minutes, please? You have the power. It's right there.
Daniel,
Teach him a lesson, okay?
Daniel, go ahead.
Thank you.
And
Don't ban him. Just time him out. Teach him a lesson. Put him in the corner.
done.
You didn't. You
Yeah,
liar.
No, I didn't.
All right. So I have a pretty interesting turn here. I'm putting Ross under a bunch of pressure no matter what I do. This is already 4. I am going to name human. I'm going to play a Warler Rogue and make 2 Nick Millers. And I don't think I actually want or care about him chump blocking. So I think I just gain 2, 4, 6. And I'm attack for 4. So I'm at 35. And I assume you're not going to chump block the 2/3 Reflector Mage, but I could be wrong.
No,
so
they're
Don
gonna
Delilah has doubled down.
Time him out!
Oh, boy.
Said, what are you going to do? Time me out for telling the truth?
I'm just getting in Twitch chat right now, okay? Just
All right.
Time out. Don Delilah?
Yep.
Yeah, dude. You're going to get the horns. Mess with the bull and you get the horns. Mess with the elephant, you get the tusks.
Samurai says that Ross looked like Dad was about to start yelling.
Where's he at?
Oh, he's hiding now.
Oh, yeah. I bet he left, so I can't find him very easily.
Don Delilah, one
Actually,
word.
If you go to 37.
I don't think I can search for him on my phone. Whatever, I'm off it.
a good excuse.
Just know that Alabama has way more championships since I've been born than Ohio State. So just leave it at that. Another Skirk Prospector and as a War Chief.
Yeah, you go to 37.
37, me, 8, you. What's up?
Now there are a lot of calls for Don to show himself.
Pass the turn.
All right, draw.
Answer for your sins.
All right.
Oh, he's in there. He's in the chat. Said, I will not be silenced.
All right, let's play Thal's Lieutenant. I had it for a while, man.
You literally said you didn't have one 2 turns ago.
Yeah, and I drew that turn. And then I played Reflector Mage, and then I played Whirling Rogue. All right.
Every turn of this game, Todd has had the card I did not want him to have.
All right, so these are, I'm going to gain...
Yeah, you're 39.
39. These are 100% coming in. And then I think I want to attack with this, and then just give it unblockable. So you're going to take 7 down to 1.
I'm a 1.
Guess I should attack with this too and force a chump. Yeah, because you can just sacrifice whatever you want. Alright, so you're going to go 2. I'm at 38.
Yep.
Second main, play a Burns and Forge Tender, go to 40. Your turn. I draw 3. I'm sorry. I don't know. You chose the matchups,
You go to
okay?
42.
I posted my 3 decks. Tell him that you did this to yourself, please. He's so mad. He can gain some life with Blood Artist. Curious if he can gain enough to get out of dying to unblockable creatures.
Yeah, maybe Ross is the one who should have Plague Engineered.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been really good on like turn 3. Well, he had a couple turns to kill these. Yeah, Plague
Okay.
Engineer sounds like a good one.
Let's play a War Marshal.
Okie doke.
Sack this for red. Get another goblin.
If you're at 3, I'm at 39.
Well, you've gained 6 life from this War Marshal too.
Oh, nice. So I'm at
So you're at 47.
40.
I had you at 42 from the you had went to 40 off Fortune Tender, 42 off the Undeterred Prospector, 48 total off War Marshal, -1 for Blood Artist, 47
to 3.
Red and pool.
Yep. I'm gonna lose this game. Ross is just gonna do some really crazy stuff here.
You go to 49.
49.
I think I have to find this.
Hashlick Mounds. And that'll let you do some sacrificing to kill these, which will make the Whirler Rogue less troublesome.
Yep.
And there's no way Fortuner can actually protect the...
Yeah. You can stop one
tokens.
trigger, basically.
Right, but with so many goblins that you're just willing to sacrifice, it's not going to do very much.
Yep. So let's play the Pashalik Mons. You gain 2 again, go to 51.
Yep, and of course all this is -1 for the because of the War
Yep.
Chief. So.
Sack this for red, trigger Blood Artist, trigger Pashalik, kill the Nick Miller.
So 50 to 4.
Yep.
And token down.
Use that red to play another War Marshal, get another
Nice.
Goblin. You gain 4.
54 to 4. So you're seeing that, like, if I didn't have these, Ross would be going off right now, right? Like, the RX champions are a little annoying, but, like, I think Ross would very easily win this game if I just didn't have one of the 2 RX champions.
Yeah. Sack for red.
And I still might lose.
Get another one. You go to 56.
Yeah, 56, and then 55 from the Blood Artist.
Yeah, so 55 to 5. And the Pashalik Mons will kill the other Nick Miller.
Yep.
I think if they were the changelings, you would have
I
won.
have a red floating.
Yep.
Let's sack another one for a red. Deal 1 to the Thalia's Lieutenant with the Pashalik.
Yeah, 54 to
6.
And the Lieutenant down.
Use the 2 red in pool to play an arms dealer.
I'll gain 2 more at the 56.
Yep.
I'm telling you, I'm pretty. Ross might win the game.
So now, do I pass?
I think you pass. You're at 6. You're not going to die to this. You can actually go like chomp, throw damage at something if you want. And you are Pashalicking and Blood Artisting and Arms Dealing. You don't really want to sack 2 goblins for 2 red, but if you have to go chomp, then you get it. And none of these creatures are specifically damning at the moment. These are attacking, but they're not that good.
Yeah, pass. I don't think I'm going to be able to outrace these Auriok champions.
I mean, you're doing a pretty darn good job. I guess there's merit to shooting down the noble if you want. Alright, I'm gonna play Canopy. Let's pop this.
Yep.
I guess there's very little reason not to attack because it forces you to sack goblins as mana. So let's swing with all these.
So
Chat saying maybe you missed some Blood Artist triggers when Todd's stuff died.
Yeah. Actually, you're right. So I had 2 things die. No, 2 tokens and a lieutenant.
And a lieutenant. Yeah, we should.
So you should be at 9.
9, and you should be at 53.
Yep. Good call.
Yeah. Still going to want to block these things because we're going to have to race the 2/2s. So let's block both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Sack this for red. Pashalik targets Noble and trigger Blood Artist, and then Blood Artist again from the Noble dying. So 51 to 11.
Mm-hmm.
And then sack here. Just deal 2 to you. I gain 1. So 49 to 12. And then I'll throw the Matron to deal 4 to Whirler Rogue. I don't want image copying Whirler Rogue.
Okay, so 2 more die.
Yeah, 2 more die. So
1 more Goblin, so you get 1 more Pashalik. I'm at 58.
Yep.
And then Blood Arts triggers twice. I'm at 56. And you gain.
Wait, you were at 49. You mean 46?
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
And then I
49.
gained 2 to 14.
Yep.
So 14 to 46, and then we'll resolve damage. I take 5, go to 9.
Yep.
9 to 46.
I mean, you're still in fine shape. This is not good for me. Already played a land. I mean, he's just going to get some Passionate Mon stuff going, so no reason to play Champion of the Parish. Just going to die. All right, go.
Let's move this up to 3. Hopefully we'll hit a matron.
Pretty sure you're going to win the game.
Lol.
Is that what I did? I think that's what I did.
You always take it up to 3. Matrons.
Yeah, so you gain 2.
48.
You have 48.
Get
Now,
Gang.
what do I find? Yeah, I can get Siege Gang. I'd have to sack I'll just sack the matron probably to cast it.
Yeah.
Because it costs 1 less. I can get... I think that's probably the best. Like, I could get Sling Gang Lieutenant not to sack a Goblin, but the Siege Gang is just so much more powerful. So, yeah, let's get a Siege Gang.
Does Sling Gang actually just kill me? It's pretty darn close with Patchlick Siege or Sling Gang, and you don't have, you'd sack goblins naturally instead of sacking the you get 2 tokens with it, right?
Yeah, we get 2 tokens. You would gain 6. You go to
They all
54.
have haste. You attack.
You would go to 54.
Each one does 3.
And then 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Okay.
So you go to 43, and I have 7 goblins.
3 per activation.
Yeah. So that only gets you to 21 or 22.
Sure, but I mean, I might just be dead next turn. And
Well, I've
Siege Gang
got a-
doesn't do that much more because it costs more mana to activate.
But it gets
an extra
me.
goblin this turn.
So it's 2 extra life for you, but ends with me attacking for 5 instead of 4.
Also gain more life. Or that's the same amount.
Yeah.
They're about the same.
I think Siege Gang's better.
Okay. All right, it does cost 1 less, so you don't even have to sack a goblin
yeah.
if you get the Sling Gang though.
Yeah. I'm gonna get Siege Gang Commander.
All right.
So let's sack Goblin Matron, and you take 2. I gain 1.
Yeah, 10 to. I don't even know what'd you have?
46.
So 44.
You're at 46 now.
Okay, so 44 to 10.
Yeah. So yeah, 44 to 10. And no, he was at 48 because of the Matron. So you're at 46 now.
Okay, 46 to 10, and then
Cast this. This is gain 8, so 54.
54.
Now I'm looking at 4, 7, 8 damage. A lieutenant will make it 11. I'm not that concerned with blocking.
I agree.
So let's just attack and try to get you dead. That's 11.
Okay.
You go to 43.
Okay.
Pass the turn.
Boss says, rip all the trees for all the paper y'all are wasting for tracking life total changes.
Gain 2.
Yep.
No
45.
more, gain 2 more.
With that trigger on the stack, sack this for a red, and Pashalik will deal 1 there. So then we'll get 2 Blood Artist triggers. So you'll go to 43, and I'll go to 12.
Okay. Gain 2 more. Does that count?
Yes, so you'll go to 45.
Okay. I think I actually just have to stop attacking. I'm going to play my land name Illusion. Go.
Okay, I'm going to...
All right, move to attacks. Let's see what you do, because you have red floating.
Yeah, I think I might want to just deal with the Reflector Mage with the Arms Dealer and these 2 tokens. So let's sack for red. Pashalik will deal 1 here, and then we'll trigger Blood Artist.
Twice.
So
So
twice, so 43
to 14.
to 14. And then sack this with the Arms
So you go
Dealer.
to 15, and you're
And
going
then-
to kill Reflector Mage up to 16. I'm at 41.
You're at 40 because of the Pashalik trigger as well. We'll target you.
Okay.
So 40 to 16.
This is stupid. Go. Ross was so mad like 2 turns ago.
I think I want
a
to...
way for me to superimpose like all like different mathematical like equations and stuff on Ross's face. I would totally do it right now.
You just Photoshop onto Zach Galifianakis.
So now I can't really attack because Todd has so many blockers. I'll just pass the turn.
All right, well, I'll go.
End of turn, we'll put this in. You go to 42.
Okay.
Pass the turn. Maybe Maybe I should have gotten Sling Gang just because I'm gonna end up needing like as many of these effects as I can get.
Go. I mean, every turn you can sack a goblin and deal me 5. I think you should just start doing that. 42, and you gain. Oh wait, no, you gain. No, I'm stupid.
It's 4. It's 4 when I sack.
Yeah. I'm still thinking of Sling Gang. So
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you could also sack a goblin for mana and pay 3 and use Pashlik on something.
Yeah, that actually seems pretty good too.
So you trade 2 goblins for 2 tokens and get some
I
triggers.
mean, you can also just spend 3 and sack a goblin to make 2, and it drains me for 2 and shoots me for 2. Or
Yeah.
sorry, drains 1, 2, 3, 4. So it drains me for 4, or hits me for 4 and drains you for 2.
Engage. Yeah, that seems reasonable. So let's we don't need multiple copies of these things, I think.
Okay. And
So-
then you get 2 goblins.
Yeah, so we'll sack a Prospector for red, then pay 4 mana with Pashlik, sack War Chief, and get 2 goblins. But then you just gain the 4 back. So all this is doing is gaining me 2 life.
I mean, is that not worth it? Maybe not.
That does like make my board a little bit worse here. Once I have like other goblins, then I'll gain the life. But for now,
Okay, so
Yeah.
42 to 16.
yeah, we'll
I'm
just
pretty sure I can't win, so I'm just gonna keep playing it out. But like Pashlik and Blood Artist and War Chief, there's a lot. Like,
Yeah.
the Pashlik's gonna kill like all my Reflector Mages and stuff like that. 44.
You go to 44. You can go. This game might take a while, but yeah, it's going to be hard for you to win, I
Yeah, the
think.
Munitions Expert is the troublesome one. Can I just concede? Do we have time to play another game?
We're past 3
past
o'clock.
3
Past 3.
o'clock. I mean, I do not think I can win because you all.
Let's play for a few more turns.
All right, go.
Okay, that's a good one. Let's play another Blood
You
Artist. You're 46. Now,
Like the problem is Munitions Expert and Pashlik are going to kill all my creatures, and I have
Yeah.
no permanent ways to actually deal with the Pashlik or the Blood Artist.
yeah, I'm also drawing 4th land next turn, and now the play with Pashlik
It's just,
makes a little bit more sense because it keeps
sack
generating me
thing,
more
drain 2,
goblins.
make 2 goblins.
So it gives you 2 life, but then gives me get an extra goblin, and that goblin represents 3 damage because of Pashlik and Blood Artist.
Yeah.
So
I will eventually lose.
Yeah. That is that was a game.
Yeah. No, I definitely punted game 2 and ended up costing me the match, which is unfortunate. But I love the fact that we got to see the full-fledged Goblin army, all synergies coming together.
I think one of the big things in that 3rd game was I was able to get Vile going. I didn't play it till turn 3 or 4, but I had enough
get
time
going.
to get it up to 3.
Yeah.
I think if we played a game where I had a turn 1 Vile, things would be very different because I'm just able to assemble the synergy so much faster.
Yeah, and your tutor with Goblin Matron is so good. And I mean, Vile is a much bigger part of your deck than it is mine because I have Noble Hierarch and a slightly lower curve. But if you have Vile going at the beginning, I think Munitions Expert gives you a huge upgrade. Pashlik is almost unbeatable, like when it gets going. I don't know. Blood Artist seemed really good. I definitely chucked game 2, but at the same time, you put up a hell of a fight in game 3 and came back from 1 life to not die. Like that was absurd.
That Arms Dealer also pretty good.
Yeah, dude, good find. Good job. All right. See, this is camaraderie. Okay, we are reveling in each other's successes.
I've never seen this before.
Yeah.
Not in Magic, at
We
least.
do it a lot on Versus Live when we're playing with new cards and new decks because I think it's important to celebrate when someone finds something interesting and it works.
Like
and
when you discover this humans deck, it seems pretty good.
I mean, if you think humans is a chuckle, just wait to see the next deck I play. Right?
I'm just here to heckle you, man. Like,
Fine.
what do you want?
Yeah.
from me?
I get it every day from everybody I know. So it's fine. You know.
We all have roles
Friends
to
like
play.
these. All right. So really interesting Goblin deck. A lot of new cards. All looked pretty cool. An old card shining in Munitions Expert. Or is that the name of it? Arms Dealer.
Arms Dealer, yes.
Yeah. Munitions Expert is the new one, right? That one was awesome.
And that
Turn
one
2?
was even important. Yeah, I took
Yeah.
out the champion on turn 2 and then and stabilized at 1 life.
Yes.
So that bit of tempo early in the game certainly played a very big role.
Yeah, for sure. I thought Knight Captain of Eos was quite good in the games where I drew it. Though in game 2, I definitely checked it.
Yeah, but it was still very good. It's
Yes.
not the card's fault.
Yeah, no, it was still very good. Definitely my fault.
You got carried away.
Yeah.
I think Thraben Inspector in higher numbers because of it is going to be beneficial in matchups that are trying to grind you out, like Marty Pyromancer, especially if that gets a big uptick thanks to Season Pyromancer. Decks like Jun might get a boost from a couple of things from the new set. I think the card is just strong, and it's like what Militia Bugler wants to be.
Yeah. No, the fact that it's very consistent and has that third point of power.
Yeah, and it even has a little bit of protection from sweepers and combo decks. So love everything about it. Definitely looking forward to playing with in humans. Anything pressing from chat before we move on? You want to give me a little more dig?
I'm good on digs for now.
Any questions?
Any consideration to squee the Immortal for going infinite in Goblins?
How are you going infinite with it? You're not you're just having a recurring source, but there's no way you can get enough mana to recast it at 3 and continue some sort of loop, right?
Well, if you have 2 War Chiefs or 1 War Chief and something.
1 War Chief and the 7-drop?
No. What's the 7-drop? Oh, more fun? Yeah, there you go. Yeah, 2 War Chiefs. No, there are infinite squee combos.
I mean,
right?
it might be just good fodder for sacrificing as one of. If
it could. I could see it as a tutor target to give you a way to consistently find.
And I can't think of one off the top of my head, but there has to be some infinite-ish or close infinite combo with it.
It's just that you need to reduce the cost of it so that when you sack it for a red, you can just recast it and keep looping it. But that's sure. And that 7-drop is how you do it. You have that and a War Chief, and you're good to go.
Okay. Anything else?
Tell me about Watcher for Tomorrow.
Don't know what that does.
This is 1U.
The hideaway creature.
2/1 human wizard hideaway. So ETB tapped, look at the top 4, put a card under it. When this leaves the battlefield, put the exiled card into its owner's hand.
So this is not like the hideaway lands. Those lands let you cast the spell, and that meant that you put Emrakul under it or what the Esper ultimatum, right?
Yep.
Brilliant ultimatum they put under hideaway lands. Yeah. That's what people have been doing with those cards to substantial effect. Windburst Kites was the one that was used generally for value because it played so well with Spectral Procession. This seems to me to be more on that end of things. It looks like just a good Elvish Visionary. You have some selection in the card you draw. If you can trade this away against an aggro deck, get that card back, and then do whatever with it. And unlike the hideaway lands, where you need to put a spell under it, here if you put a land under it and then chump block it, you get to make your land drop. So that it's like a mid-rangey Elvish Visionary to me. But if you view it under that light, is it a powerful enough card for you to want to play it over Tarmogoyf or Icefang Coatl or?
I don't know. I think the card has some merit, but those types of cards are generally great because they gain immediate value, and you can turn that extra resource into something tangible immediately. Snapcaster Mages obviously cost usually more than 2 mana to gain that extra card, but the immediacy of being able to cast Fatal Push on your opponent's creature is quite strong. I mean, I like this card as a relatively medium defensive measure against normal decks, but there aren't a lot of just normal decks in Modern. It's a lot of one-sided linear combo type stuff or just ignoring your opponent type stuff. And if you don't have a way to kill your own thing, you don't get that much value out of it. And if you're killing your own thing, you're not getting that much value out of it anyway.
Yeah. And the decks that are, attacking into you and letting you block with this are attacking with big enough creatures where the 2/1 body isn't doing a whole lot. Yeah. It turns into sort of a revitalize. You block their 3/3 and get your card back.
Yeah.
All right. You ready for this? You ready for this?
Go.
Eldrazi Displacer.
With this?
Yeah.
It's fine. I mean, is it better than Elvish Visionary? Probably a little bit.
I mean, Impulse is way stronger than draw a card.
Yeah.
Sure, but when you have... Here's the thing. When you have a card like Eldrazi Displacer, drawing cards into your hand is not where I want to be, And I think you
have plenty of things to do with your mana.
Yeah, you want to be blinking Blade Splicer and, Flicker Wisp and doing weird stuff.
Yeah, it gives you basically too many resources, and a card like Eldrazi Displacer is going to shine with, again, things that produce immediacy, like Blade Splicer, like no, not Ravenous Chupacabra, but cards of that nature.
Yeah, Reflector Mage.
That enter the battlefield and do something immediately. You get your card advantage in a virtual way by gaining a larger battlefield or by displacing your opponent's side of the battlefield. Like, you know, I don't know. I it's not really my cup of tea. Obviously, it's cool. You know, maybe if it was in standard, I think it would probably be very good. But
yeah, standard, and you're playing that 2/1 to block, it's going to be a lot more reliable.
Mhm.
But it's just not coming up that often in the
is it
older
rare
formats.
or is it like uncommon?
Uncommon.
Okay, I like it at uncommon. I think it'll be great for limited. But a lot of these cards, people are putting too much pressure on them. I think to make them modern playable. I mean, you need to build a limited format, and it seems quite good for there. You know.
Yeah, I think Azorius is the blink archetype. There's like a
Sure.
1-mana blink with rebound.
That sounds awesome. Yeah, and that's a good card advantage engine there and limited for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Okay.
we're going to take a short break here, I guess.
Yeah, we got one more matchup. What deck are you playing, Todd? I can't remember.
Is it Phoenix with Aria Flame?
Oh, yeah.
I think Aria is a perfect addition to the deck. I think it gives it a card that functions well with the rest of the strategy without butting heads with Thing in the Ice. And almost all the cards you've played in that spot in previous iterations have butted heads. Terramander gets bounced. Crackling Drake costs 4 mana. It's a little expensive and also sometimes gets bounced. The card that I've loved recently is Pyromancer Ascension, but I've also found myself having multiple times where I try to turn it on and fail, and I just spend so much time and resources into trying to turn on Pyromancer Ascension, and if it blanks, you just time walked yourself. You just cycled a bunch of stuff for no gain. And while the same can be true for Aria Flame, I think that there's a chance, you know, once you cast your 8th spell, you kill your opponent. And if you just play magic, cast Finale Promise, Flame Slash, Lightning Bolt, and then a couple of cantrips along the way, your opponent's going to be dead a lot faster than you might think.
Yeah. It's also a win condition that dodges Graveyard Hate, which
Yes.
was the initial impetus for adding Crackling Drake.
Mhm.
So you get to the best of both worlds where you're not butting the Thing and you're dodging the Graveyard Hate that Ascension doesn't do. So I'm excited about that addition. I will be playing a Sultai Snow mid-range deck. So we got some Ice Fang Waddles to block these Awoken Horrors.
Yup, and they come in at flash speed, which is huge. Nicely done.
Yeah.
And mostly we just get to see the snow theme, so it should be a lot of fun. But we're going to take a short break here. Don't go nowhere. Be right back for more Versus Live.